Chosen one, the message reaching you now may challenge what you've previously believed, not just about the world around you, but about yourself. The truth is broader, deeper, and far more impactful than it may first appear. If you are engaging with this message at this moment, it is not due to coincidence. You have arrived at a pivotal point in your life where clarity is emerging and transformation is imminent. This shift you are entering marks a departure from a mindset of lack into a space of readiness and reception. You are transitioning from a period of yearning into one of fulfillment, not through chance, but through alignment. What once seemed beyond your reach, perhaps even unrealistic, is now approaching with a momentum that can only be described as divine. However, this movement isn't automatic. It requires awareness. It requires your alignment with the opportunities forming before you. As life begins to accelerate in unexpected and meaningful ways, the closed doors of the past are giving way. But with this new momentum comes a critical decision: whether to step fully into the moment or let it pass without recognition. The universe does not withhold. It responds to readiness. The essential question becomes whether you are positioned to receive the very blessings you've longed for. Throughout your life, there may have been times when you heard voices, internal or external, suggesting that you are unqualified, incapable, or undeserving. These messages, whether subtle or overt, have shaped much of your inner dialogue. But it is important to know this. Such narratives are misaligned with the reality of your identity. You are not here by mistake. You are not inadequate. You were created for a reason. This isn't simply motivational language. It is a call to remember. At the core of your being lies purpose. That purpose was planted long before you began to question your worth. The adversity you've experienced, the setbacks you've endured, they were not to harm you, but to prepare you. You are a chosen one, not because of perfection, but because of divine intention. That distinction matters. The process of awakening to this truth can be disorienting. The scale of your calling may feel too large or unclear, but that's often the case for those marked with purpose. The path of the chosen one is rarely without challenge. It asks more of you, stretches your capacity, and frequently places you outside of what's comfortable. But it is there, in that discomfort, where growth occurs. Consider the idea that every obstacle has functioned as a tool, each disappointment as preparation. The experiences that once left you questioning your direction were not without meaning. They were refining moments, clarifying your character, and aligning you more closely with your assignment. While you may not have seen the outcome then, you are now beginning to understand that nothing has been wasted. This understanding is not just philosophical, it's transformational. It shifts the way you interpret your past, view your present, and prepare for what's next. It's also worth acknowledging that stepping into a calling does not guarantee universal support. Often, those chosen for greater purpose walk paths that others around them neither understand nor validate. This disconnect can be isolating, especially when those closest to you express disbelief or judgment. But even this is part of the process. Those reactions are not evidence of your unworthiness. They are indications of your distinction. Being chosen doesn't eliminate fear or uncertainty. It reframes it. It teaches you that courage is not the absence of doubt, but the decision to proceed regardless. The strength of chosen ones lies not in having every answer, but in their willingness to act on divine conviction. If you have felt a pull, a sense that your life has meaning beyond the visible circumstances, then this message is a confirmation, not a suggestion. You are being drawn by something real. The question is no longer whether the calling is genuine. The question is, will you answer it? Chosen individuals often discover that their values, aspirations, and perspectives do not align with common norms. That divergence can be uncomfortable, but it is also affirming. The world seeks uniformity. Purpose calls for authenticity. The more you try to conform, the further you drift from the essence of your role. The chosen path demands individuality, not imitation. And so, if you've ever felt out of place, that too may be evidence, not of deficiency, but of divine distinction. You are not meant to fit in. You are meant to stand apart, to lead by example, and to pave a way forward where none previously existed. The journey forward may not always be linear. Distractions, setbacks, and doubts may reappear. But none of these are signs of failure. They are natural tests that confirm your commitment. Realignment does not require flawless execution. It requires willingness to return to the path, to refocus, and to trust in the process. Faith, for the chosen ones, is not optional. It is foundational. Not just belief in a higher power, but trust in the process that power has set in motion. In moments of stillness and uncertainty, faith becomes the compass that guides decisions, even when outcomes remain unknown. As you progress through this transformation, begin to evaluate the areas of your life that are no longer aligned with your purpose. What habits, relationships, or environments must shift? What beliefs must be challenged? The chosen ones don't just accept change, they initiate it. As this season of elevation continues to unfold, know this: your presence in this moment is not accidental. It's deliberate. You have been prepared for a greater assignment. The Riki path will demand more from you, but it will also reveal more to you about your strength, your gifts, and the impact your life is meant to have. Continuing on this path as a chosen one requires more than awareness. It demands intentional living. The decisions you make each day, the conversations you entertain, and the environments you place yourself in all play a part in whether you remain aligned with your higher purpose or drift into distraction. One of the clearest distinctions between those who are merely called and those who are truly chosen lies in their response to discomfort. The called may retreat when challenges arise. The chosen recognize challenge as part of the assignment. They know growth comes from stepping outside of what is familiar, not from staying in it. If you find yourself consistently seeking approval, that may be a sign to reevaluate where you are placing your worth. The chosen ones are not driven by external validation. Their confidence stems from an internal understanding of their role. They don't measure their value by the applause of others, but by the quiet conviction of their spirit. This independence of thought and identity does not imply arrogance. Instead, it reflects clarity. When you know who you are and what you are meant to do, you become less susceptible to the influence of those who don't understand your direction. This clarity allows you to move through life with purpose, even when others don't immediately recognize your vision. As you deepen your connection with your purpose, you may also encounter periods of isolation. These moments are not punishments. They are periods of preparation. In solitude, distractions are minimized, and clarity can emerge. It is in this space that many chosen ones develop the resilience, discipline, and wisdom required for what lies ahead. During these quieter seasons, listen closely. Reflect. Pray. The absence of noise allows space for divine instruction. This period may not be outwardly productive by the world's standards, but internally, it can be one of your most transformative phases. An essential trait of those who walk the chosen path is the ability to operate with long-term vision. They are not easily swayed by momentary setbacks or quick gratification. Their focus remains on the broader mission. Short-term discomfort is accepted when it serves a greater purpose. This requires maturity. It means saying no to things that are tempting, but misaligned. It involves choosing delayed gratification, making time for spiritual development, and prioritizing peace over popularity. These are not small sacrifices. They are markers of someone who has accepted the responsibilities that come with being chosen. The rewards of this path, however, are significant. They may not always be tangible or immediate, but they are deeply fulfilling. Peace, clarity, spiritual authority, and meaningful impact are among the returns for staying the course. To remain aligned, the chosen ones develop a practice of discernment. They learn to ask better questions. Is this opportunity aligned with my purpose? Does this connection nourish or drain me? Will this choice lead me closer to who I am becoming? These questions help filter out distractions and ensure their steps remain in sync with their calling. But alignment is not a one-time decision. It is a continual process. Each day brings choices, and with each choice comes the opportunity to either reinforce or drift from your purpose. The goal is not perfection, it is consistency. The chosen ones don't pretend to have it all figured out. They simply commit to showing up, listening, and adjusting when necessary. There will be setbacks, there will be doubts, but even these have their place. For the chosen ones, setbacks become sources of wisdom, not shame. Doubt becomes a prompt for deeper faith, not a reason to quit. They turn adversity into training, and confusion into clarity. Faith is not just a belief for the chosen, it is an action. It is what allows them to move forward even when the destination is unclear. It is what empowers them to speak when silence is expected, to lead when following is easier, and to stand firm when compromise would be more comfortable. This kind of faith is not emotional, it's foundational. It persists through changing circumstances because it is rooted in something deeper than temporary outcomes. It is grounded in the understanding that God's plan is unfolding, even when it doesn't match human expectations. There is also a necessary shift in mindset that takes place. The chosen ones move from viewing themselves as victims of circumstance to becoming stewards of responsibility. They stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" They recognize that while not everything is within their control, their response always is. That shift, from passive observation to active participation, is powerful. It places them in a position of influence, not only over their own lives, but over the lives of those they impact. Because, make no mistake, chosen ones are leaders. Whether quietly or publicly, they are called to influence through example, integrity, and insight, and with that influence comes accountability. The chosen understand that their words carry weight. Their actions create ripples. Their presence carries significance. This isn't a burden, it's a privilege, but it must be carried with humility and care. As the chosen continue to walk their path, they come to see failure not as something to avoid, but as something to work through. Every setback becomes part of the refinement. Every failure a lesson. Every delay an opportunity for reflection.